What's up, guys? Chad with G Reviews here. Today what I'm going to be doing is doing a review of a new chainsaw I just picked up, the Stihl MS 251 CBE. This chainsaw I purchased out of preparation more than need. The reason why I say that is I live in central North Carolina, and we just had Hurricane Florence come through, and the original path it was showed it would come right over my house. However, summer before this summer, a normal storm had come through and knocked down a pretty good sized tree on my back fence. So I was thinking, in preparation for the hurricane, I would pick up a chainsaw just in case anything fell in the house. Alright guys, the 251 is pretty much the biggest model in the homeowners lineup. And what the CBE stands for, it doesn't actually really stand for anything, it's just a designation. Pretty much what it means is you have all quick cap, bar oil and fuel, and then on the other side you have the quick chain tightener. Most of the other models that don't have the CBE or just the C have the two bolts, and you have to unbolt them and then take the cap off and then adjust your chain. But on this one, you literally just fold this up, obviously loosen it up, and then this knob up here you can tighten or loosen the chain. I'll go over that in a little bit. Alright, we're going to be cutting some wood for you guys today just to show you how good the chainsaw is. What we're going to do is we're going to put this on the side, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is. Pull it up, twist it, and there you go. It's obviously it's got a tether, and we're going to make sure this has enough gas in it, so I'm going to fill this thing up. Alright, it was pretty full already. The tank on itself is partly translucent. I wouldn't say it's clear. I don't know if you guys can see, but the fuel level is right here. And it's super easy. All you guys do is you just put this bad boy back in here, make sure it's lined up, twist, and then it locks right back down. Obviously, same thing with the bar oil. The bar oil is right here. It's got the exact same cap. I've already checked it. It definitely has enough in there. Yep, don't have to worry about that. Alright, it does come with a nice sheath for the chain. This is a 18-inch Rollomatic E. The engine itself is a 45.6cc motor, obviously two-stroke. Alright guys, another reason for the designation of CBE, it does have the Easy Start Assist on it. All that means is, an old school, as soon as you start pulling on it, it's going to start cranking. On this one, it doesn't actually start cranking on the crankshaft until the cord gets to be about right here. So you don't just want to just rip it. You just want to slowly ease into it and then pull. I'm going to start this up. I'm going to talk before I start up so you guys can hear what I'm doing. What we're going to do is we're going to pump the power bowl about 3 times. We're going to put the choke all the way into the cold start position, which is the 4th click down. To get into that position, what you need to do is that's off, and you have run, high idle, and then see this won't go down any further. What you have to do, it's a safety feature. You have to actually press the trigger and the safety to actually get it into the cold start position. Alright, so we got that all taken care of. So I'm going to start in the cold. I'm going to pull once or twice or 3 times until you hear it fire. I'm going to turn it up to the high idle, let it run for about 20 seconds to get warm, and then I'm going to crank it. I'm going to hit the trigger, put it into the run position, and you'll hear the RPMs come down a little bit, and you'll know I'm starting. What we got over here, I'm going to be cutting the startup first. It's a 6-inch log. It's all oak, so it is going to put, it's not really going to stress the motor. I'm just going to do it just because that's what I have on hand, guys. Alright, so we're going to pump this. I do have a few mosquitoes out here. If you see me swatting them, that's what you got. Alright, pumped it 3 times. Alright, what I'm going to do, I always do it on the ground. People do it up in the air. I always do it on the ground. It just feels better to me. Alright, we got 1. Alright, you hear it try to crank. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it up into the high idle position. It should crank within the first pull or second. position, you hear the RPMs go down, and I'm going to stop it by going like this. Alright guys, that's the startup procedure. As you can see, that was super easy. I didn't have to mess around with it or pull it for 30 pulls. The easy start on this works like a charm. Alright guys, this is my 6-inch diameter oak. I'm going to try to cut it into 3 pieces. I always like to cut my firewood, at least I don't want it any longer than an 18-inch bar. So when I go to split it, I can split it with this. And I'm going to do a separate video on how to split wood with a chainsaw in a later video. So I'm going to start this thing back up. It should be already warm, so I should be able to put it in a run position and start it. But I'm going to make 3 cuts. I do have my gloves here. You definitely want to wear gloves, pants, and eye protection at the minimum. Ear protection, obviously, but I'm partly deaf as it is, so I ain't worried about it at this point. Alright guys, as you can see that didn't strain the chainsaw at all. Like I said, this is a 6-inch oak. Alright, well I'm going to go on to something a little bit bigger. Guys, this next one's going to be a little bit bigger chunk. This is an 11-inch oak. It's off the same tree. I'm going to cut through this and see how it goes. I'm going to go back down to the run position on the choke. Alright, hopefully it'll start right back up. Nice and warm already. Alright guys, I mean this chain I'd say is almost brand new. I've cut probably about an hour to two's worth out of it with wood about the same size as I've been cutting, guys. As you can see, I mean, nice and flat, blew right through it. This obviously this 46cc chainsaw does exactly what I need it to do as a homeowner. I'm going to go into a little bit of the other details in just a little bit, but I give it 2 thumbs up for power so far. I mean, this is a good size log. The big stump that I had, I actually did take another disc out of that with this chainsaw, and that was right at the limit of the bar. It's a, let me double check with you on that. That log actually right there looks about 18 to 19 inches, and this did take it out pretty easily. I had to cut it. It was about twice the length, and I cut it in half. I'm using that as my new splitting log for this next couple years. So, all right, see you guys later. All right, so I'm just going to go over quick details on the chainsaw. All right, on the Stihl website, obviously you have chainsaws. They break it down into battery saws, homeowner saws, farm and ranch, and professional. The one that I purchased was obviously a homeowner series. Alright. Stihl always rates theirs on occasional use and then extensive use. Okay, the MS 251 CB is literally right in the middle, so it's not occasional use, it's not extensive, so it is what it is. Alright guys, the one that I purchased is the 251 CBE. Okay, the only thing higher than that is the Wood Boss. And the only difference between the Wood Boss and the CBE, okay, you got these two, is the CBE has the quick chain tensioner. The Wood Boss has the standard bolt you have to undo. The CBE has the easy pull start, and the Wood Boss does not. The reason why this one's called the Wood Boss is because all the professional saws, they don't have the easy start or the quick tensioner. Just for the simple fact is they think it's going to last a little bit longer, but in reality it probably does. But for a homeowner, when, you know, not using it a whole lot, this right here is going to work just fine. Alright, clicking on that, I'm going to go to specs just so you can see that. Alright, 45.6 cc's, it's 3 horsepower. It gives you all the oil and the fuel capacity and whatnot. So I got the 18-inch model, so it's the bigger of the two you can get on this particular saw. Alright guys, that concludes that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, ask me any questions, or like and subscribe to the channel.